Could Odonga's call for devolution be unfolding? Well, in case you didn't know, Dr. Odonga has been a long advocate for federalism or devolution.
Why would the cow of Kasese be a Muganda? So under the devolved units, you go and study and come and develop your home area. Because if you cannot treat your home area well, who else do you think can treat your home area well? If I may laugh over this. So let the debate begin about devolution. It requires a constitutional amendment. It is not a battle for or against Museveni. This is a battle for a generation that will have to live here for a while. And as I said, national unity in Uganda is not tenable. Uganda is like a fruit salad. There has to be pawpaw, there has to be guavas, there has to be mangoes, there has to be apples, and every fruit must maintain its distinctive capacities. That's what makes a fruit platter. So we need to campaign for unity in diversity. And when we raise these issues, many people think we are tribalistic. No, even if you go to a police station to record your statement, they will ask for your tribe because they know how an Acholi behaves is different from the way a Gisu behaves. The way a Muganda behaves is different from the way a Sabine would behave. If you go to National Referral Hospital, they still ask for your tribe. So we must have a system of unity in diversity. These blind eyes that national unity, when a particular group is being favored at the expense of the others, must not be accepted by Ugandans. It will make us hate ourselves. The Anglican Church is a very good example of unity in diversity. Every year the Archbishop is rotational. Mpala Nikoyo left, Orombi left, it went to Kigezi. They rotate ethnically because they are wise. We are different. We should accept we are different, but we should learn to live together under a devolved unit where power goes to the devolved units, the devolved government of Acholi. Then the president at a national level becomes weak and ceremonial, and we can even make it rotational. Thank you so much for listening. Post your views. Honorable Dr. Otto greets you on this 4th day of December, and Merry Christmas.
Now, Justice Minister Norbert has reignited national debate on constitutional reform after reaffirming a proposal to introduce a bicameral legislature in Uganda, a move that would fundamentally restructure the country's lawmaking system. The proposal seeks to replace Uganda's current unicameral parliament with a two-chamber system comprising a lower house and an upper house, the Senate. Supporters argue that the reform could improve representation, enhance legislative scrutiny, and streamline the size and efficiency of parliament. Proposal rooted in DP manifesto. Mr. Mao clarified that the idea is not new. In a recent post, he stated that the proposal originates from the 2021 manifesto of the Democratic Party, that's DP. The proposal for a bicameral legislature is from the DP Secretariat 2021 manifesto. The package includes devolution of powers to sub-regions akin to Kenya and a move away from the first past the post-elections to proportional representation. An MP will represent 150,000 citizens, Mao noted. The proposal first surfaced prominently in public discourse in July 2024 when Mao, then Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, outlined plans to establish a bicameral parliament as part of broader governance and electoral reforms. How the bicameral system would work. Under the proposed structure, the lower house, often referred to as the House of Representatives, would consist of members directly elected by citizens. This chamber would maintain close links to constituents and ensure localized interests are represented in legislative processes. The upper house, potentially modeled as a Senate, would comprise members selected through a mix of regional representation, professional expertise, and possible presidential or institutional appointments. Its primary role would be to provide oversight and deeper scrutiny of legislation passed by the lower house. Bills approved by the lower house would require review and approval by the upper house before becoming law. Proponents argue that this additional layer of review would reduce rushed legislation and strengthen checks and balances within government. If adopted, Uganda would join countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and neighboring Kenya, all of which operate bicameral systems. Broader electoral reforms. The proposal extends beyond structural change in parliament. It also recommends devolution of powers to sub-regions similar to Kenya's country governance model, transition from the first past the post-electoral system to proportional representation, standardized population threshold with each member of parliament representing approximately 150,000 citizens. Advocates argue that proportional representation could promote inclusivity and reduce electoral tensions, while devolution may enhance local governance and service delivery. Support and criticism. Supporters view the proposal as an opportunity to modernize Uganda's democratic institutions and address concerns over the size and effectiveness of parliament. However, critics have raised concerns about potential bureaucratic complexity, increased public expenditure, and possible legislative delays resulting from inter-house disagreements. Questions have also emerged regarding the cost of maintaining two chambers and the clarity of their respective mandates. Mao has emphasized the need for a clear constitutional framework defining the powers and procedures of both houses. He has also suggested a phased implementation approach to manage logistical and financial implications. A defining reform moment. Although no final decision has been made, the renewed discussion signals that constitutional reform remains high on the governance agenda, with new vision revisiting the debate and public discourse intensifying. Stakeholders across the political spectrum are expected to weigh in on what could become one of the most significant structural reforms to Uganda's legislative system in decades. If adopted, the shift to a bicameral parliament would mark a historic transformation in Uganda's governance, architecture, potentially reshaping representation, accountability, and legislative oversight for years to come.